What is up, everybody? Logan here again with another video coming right at you. These option trades have just been insane this past week. So crazy. If you guys can see over here, in one day I was up $3,300. Just insane. 6% of my portfolio, my Robinhood account, and you guys know I have the TD accounts that I've been building passively every single week. So let's dive into some of these plays, why I took them, and why I don't think you should take any of these now, as I'm looking at taking profits very soon in all of them. They had their chance to shine, and I know a lot of these plays are long, but I'm already in a lot of my profit taking zones, and I'm just kind of letting things ride right now. The link to the Discord's in the description. You guys can follow along with any of the plays. I usually take very passive trades, so I only take swing trades when I really think there's a good setup, because there's no reason to give your money away to Theta every single day. The link to M1 Finance is in the description as well. You guys deposit $100, you'll get a free $30 for doing nothing, right? So take advantage of that. Let's get right into this video. So let's start with Beyond. Now we have, this is a put spread that we rolled last weekend. So we're only going to collect, you guys can see down here, 58 on the option order. So this is good for a $58 credit. Even though it says 314, I had to roll other put spreads that I was in, so we can add this to this week's profits. Of course, we'll do that on Friday where we recap all the trades. But Beyond is currently 119.66. I had the 112, 107 puts that I got last week. I was very bullish on Beyond coming into this next week. So that was the first trade in general. Now I just took this based on my charts, which I can pull up in a little bit and show you guys what I saw in Beyond, why I got as aggressive as I did. So that's the first position. We sold the 123 call, which we're currently down $8 on. I sold this on Monday. A perfect time to sell it, as Beyond had gapped up a bunch overnight, right? Beyond was up like 12% overnight. Sold this call at the 123 strike, and then we'll dive really deep into the leap. But essentially I just grabbed this position. We can go to view all options, sell the call. So currently it's got a 77.36% chance of profit as of right now, and it is up 43% on the day. Beyond has risen quite a bit, but I just grabbed these as well. These are the call spreads. I grabbed them yesterday on top of it. So these are also trades coming into Friday that are looking very well. This is the 127, 132 call. Now essentially I picked these up because if you guys look at the call options for this week, 43% yesterday, these were up like 1,000% because weekly contracts are crazy. So I made sure to take advantage of this little spike in volatility. And then we have our leap option that's doing so well, but I'm looking at taking profits on it soon just because of how much of a move Beyond's had. I think if you're getting into this position now, you're already way too late on the setup in general, but this is where a lot of that has come from, which is this leap that I grabbed to sell weekly calls against. I love their balance sheet, but when they got kicked down to 100, that was a perfect time for me at that time to take a leap position because of the news that had come out past their earnings. They're just a company getting hurt by COVID. I like Beyond a lot over the long term. So that's where the majority of my money that came in yesterday came from. You can see that gap up of almost, what was that, $1,000 into yesterday. That was where the majority of that money came from. So it's just a leap. You know, money's relative to everybody. It's not ticking my emotions or anything like that. Then we'll go over to Chewy, which was the other position. So we'll dive into this position. I had two of these contracts going, and I secured one yesterday for $6.25. We can scroll down, right click here. Sold that at $11.24, and my average cost on these two contracts was $4.48. So I was able to lock in just under $200 on that trade, and I'm just letting this one ride, but I'm going to secure it this week, of course. Most likely tomorrow, depends on if Chewy gaps up again. I don't like having calls that are this close, but yet again, another stock completely beaten down over the past week or so. And then we also have my Chewy call for July, which I'm planning on taking profits at 40% on, and I think we were there today almost. Yeah, we got up to 1,138 on this contract. I paid $8.20 for it. It's up 30%. So if we can get to about $1,200 return, I'll take this off the table and secure it there. But this is for July, and I also bought this to sell covered calls against. And then we have my Tesla shares recover quite a bit yesterday, which boosted that a little bit, but not too much. Today they're down $29, but we have 17 shares of them now, currently up 183% on them. I like Tesla. I like it here at this level. I think we'll retrace back up, but I'm long term. I'm 5 years plus on Tesla. So let's hop over to the laptop. I can show you guys some of the charts that I was looking at before I took these call options. So let's just take a deep dive into Beyond so you guys can see what I'm seeing here, but extremely oversold on the 2-year chart. This is exactly what I'm looking at, right? Is just how oversold are we? Bad earnings report, but it's literally because of COVID, right? There's no internal part of the company that's wrong. So we take a look over here, the RSI was completely down in the red on the 2-year chart. We also had the squeeze going on the 90-day chart, and we have ran up a bunch on the 30-day. So this is what has me, selling the 123 strike this week, right? That standard deviation channel from where we started the week at. We're already very extended. Beyond has traded in this channel almost perfectly on my charts over the past couple of weeks, and that's why I was very confident as well as we gathered steam to move up to the 112 to sell that put strike on, and that's where we are now. So we also in this 30-day have traded really well in this channel as well. So that's why that's what I was saying earlier. I'm looking at taking profits on this soon. And on the 2-year chart, the mean is at 135. So we have heavy resistance to get through around 130. We also have heavy resistance to get through where we are right now, around 120. I honestly hope that we get shut down a little bit throughout this week and just chop between 115 and 122 as we have that iron condor position going right now. And we also have that leap that's doing really well. So all that charting that I did was just use my TTM squeeze. My RSI poked green on all of the charts. So I thought it was a perfect swing trade position, especially after being so aggressively sold off in a couple of days. Stocks like this generally bounce back, but I also had a stop loss going. And then we could take a look at Chewy as well and why I took this position. Pretty much the same thing here. I grabbed a lot of Chewy when we were down in this range, like the 68, 67 strike, right down here as we had chopped sideways for quite a bit. The RSI started to poke green. The RSI was extremely oversold on my 2-year chart, and now we're at the top of the range, so that's why I was able to take profit, and I plan on taking the rest of the profit this week. As I said, it's going to depend on if we ramp up. Maybe we ramp up to 74, 75, and I can hop out. But if we begin to pull back and break under 71.60, I will be out of this trade. I'll still be profitable at that point as well, and it's doing pretty well, right? Like that trade in general. So that is a lot of where my profit has come from over the past week, and especially Monday. Just a couple good long calls with great setups can make you a pretty solid amount of money. So that's going to be everything for me in this video. I hope you guys got some value out of it, helped your charting. I'm also going to dive into how to chart on TOS throughout this next week, how to even read, right, like monitor your trades, the trade tab, see how much money you're actually up, because TOS makes that kind of confusing. Honestly, I use TD Ameritrade quite a bit too. I'm finishing up The Millionaire Fastlane right now, which is such a good book. I highly recommend everybody checks it out. That link will be up here to read that. It's completely free to read. Just make sure you use the M1 Finance link down in the description. It's the best way to support the channel. Everything's been pretty solid. We're just letting the trades go. Everything's good. We got all this passive income set up in our lives. So we're just managing as we go throughout the week. And it looks like it's going to be another really solid week. So I'm really pumped. There should be another really solid video coming out. We're also having Halcyon on tomorrow. So it's going to be great, but that's going to be everything for me. Make sure you check the links in the description. Leave a like, a comment, subscribe on this video, as it always helps out a ton. You guys don't even understand. And I'll see you guys in the next one.